Previously, on the terrible adventures of the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company. Man, really made a mistake choosing such a long name. You're on the road back to the city, going as fast as a single donkey can pull 5 people.
I try and shoot at Hop.
You want to set off a massive explosion in the forest here? Let's not be firing at the dangerous chemicals, okay?
Frankie's gonna have a play around with the coins.
So you manage to make a splinter of wood glow with a magical light.
This is concentrated magic. What are we doing with this?
That stuff that you guys are holding is very illegal and very secret. Even just having some of it can be enough to get you thrown in jail. That's Vito's place. If you guys are lucky, you're gonna get in there and you're gonna find what you're looking for, and you're gonna get the hell out of here.
Can I get on the floor and peek around the corner?
It's a pretty nice looking office. You can see a blue-skinned man in a 3-piece suit.
But can I see the barrels anyway?
Okay. They're on a pallet together, and he's sitting on top of one of them.
She's going to turn around and inspect the parchment on the desk.
It seems to be plans for making a bomb using the stolen chemicals.
This is very dangerous. This could hurt a lot of people.
A hole begins to open in the middle of the air. You three, Vito. I demand your audience. Kia ora and welcome to the terrible adventures of the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company, a D&D podcast. My name is Penny, and when the quarantine's over, I'm going to go to an aquarium.
It's a really cute day. My name's Liz. Today I am playing Karen, and when the quarantine's over, I'm going to go to the beach.
My name's Nate, and I'm playing Flinvar the Halfling Bard, and I'm going to go on a railroad trip through all the fast food joints and then maybe play mini-golf.
My name is Stephanie, and I'm playing Frankie. And when the quarantine's over, I think I'm just gonna go to like every store and just stand in there and touch everything.
I am Poppy. I play Idafer, the Tiefling Rogue, and as soon as the quarantine is over, I'm gonna go on a weekend hike with my friends.
Sounds nice.
Very nice. So we are in the middle of Arc 1 of our D&D game. Does anyone want to name it, given how far in we are and how much of the story you guys know about? Does anyone want to name Arc 1?
Chemical Arc.
The Chemical Errand.
The Chemical Errand is a nice one.
That's nice.
My Chemical
Errand.
My Chemical Errand. I mean, yeah.
So, you guys are sitting in an elevated second floor office, looking down at a factory full of stolen goods and merchandise containing the barrels that you're here for. A crackling hole in space has opened, and a haunting voice on the other side has spoken to the blue-skinned man in the 3-piece suit and said, "You three, Vito, I demand your audience." The man, who's currently down on one knee, bowing, says, "How might I serve you, Lord Quisifistus?" And the voice says, "I will not see failure. Yustri, Vito." And Vito responds saying, "And nor will you. The power you have granted me will rain fire upon this city and all the so-called crime lords who oppose me. You think too small, mortal. Only the start, my lord. First, I must crush the underworld, and then the throne is mine for the taking."
Karen will say, Quisifistus. Is he an old god?
I don't know, but it's kind of a weird name.
I'm going to need more hesitate.
He called Don Vito immortal. Is he immortal? He said something about taking the throne. I just don't think I'm qualified for this.
This is way out of my pay grade.
This is way out of my pay grade. And I earn more than you.
Past 5 o'clock. Rough work.
Bye.
Do you think we could sneak in there and get the barrels?
Well, I'd love to, but he's still in the room. How are we going to get them out of there?
Could set the building on fire.
That's
actually not a bad idea. I vote that we burn down the building.
As long as we can get the chemicals out without also setting them on fire, because I do believe that would be the bomb that they are planning on doing, only we would do that to ourselves.
That's a fair point.
That's true.
Yeah, what about flooding the building? No.
At this point, they're still talking, and a pulse of energy expands from the portal in every direction. And as it passes through you, your vision clouds for a moment and you feel sick to your stomach. After a moment, the voice from the portal says, "It appears we are being observed. Let us rupture the peace of this night." And Vito turns and sees all of you staring out the window at him, and he says, "Yes, let's." And he grasps his electrum piece, and he holds his hand up towards all of you. The electrum piece glows blue, and a purple bolt of energy erupts from his hand, and it hits the floor beneath you, and then there's a little bit of crackling, and the floor beneath you collapses. I want everybody to roll an acrobatics check.
Shit.
Acrobatics, God.
Oh, come on, man.
Now one.
Okay, that's not bad.
Oh,
Wait, for real? 2 of y'all got nat ones.
I got a 2.
Oh no.
So
my total's 10 after
where
rolling.
I'm at.
Okay.
Okay, well, I
What
got
are
a
they-
22.
Okay. You land on your feet. You actually manage to grab onto a piece of the office and then drop down onto your feet. The nat ones land on their heads and they take 5 damage.
Holy shit.
My end roll penny was 10 because I rolled again, but I still rolled low.
Yeah, I got a 2. Not a nat 1, sorry.
Yeah,
I was
so-
reacting to Steph. That might have sounded a bit.
Okay, so Nate, you also take 5 damage. You guys look up and you see the man in the 3-piece suit. A little closer, you can see that he has gills across his neck, and you recognize him to be a water genasi. And he kind of rubs his hands together and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was looking for an excuse to try out my new powers. Line up, ladies. I don't know what you're doing here, but you're gonna die." Roll for initiative.
Woo! Alright!
Good God.
So what level is this man?
Enough to be a threat to us. I got a 16.
Nate,
23.
Steph,
18.
and Poppy.
22.
No.
All right. So here's the situation. You've got a well-dressed man standing in front of an eldritch portal who wants to kill you. First up is Flynn. What are you going to do, bud? I will just mention that you just witnessed somebody using Electrum to cast a spell. He casted a cantrip,
Yeah.
he cast Eldritch Blast, but now you've seen it.
Yeah, I think that will click home in Flynn's mind, like what he was kind of thinking about on the thing, and I'm gonna try the one that he's had in his hand this whole time, just carrying around awkwardly. He's gonna try and just reflex, just naturally try and cast one back.
Okay. What spell are you going to cast?
So I'm gonna cast a Vicious Mockery as a cantrip. He's gonna unleash like a lace of insults, almost as he's like swearing to himself about one falling and failing badly at landing, and then this crazy kind of blue guy who's ruining his day, and he's missed a sail. He's very mad, so he's just gonna let rip.
What does he say?
Yeah. Something along the lines of a slimy, wet bucket of moss, for a no good person. I'm trying to use actual curse words.
You can use actual curse words for Vicious Mockery. I'm going to rule that that's fine.
Alright.
Talk
It
about
is
his
vicious
suit.
after all.
Yeah, a wet soup of a dandy trying to ruin their day and missing the sales that he could have made, his year of commission on. Gonna curse you to the living edge of your bucket to mop thousands of floors with your stupid hair and something about a toupee, and yeah.
Okay, as you are unleashing this string of insults, the piece of electrum in your hand begins to glow, and the force of your anger takes form. Vito actually takes damage from this. He takes 1d4 psychic damage from this. So go ahead, roll me 1d4 psychic damage. And as you're doing this, you realize that you're casting a spell.
That's a 4.
Oh, max damage. Very nice. Okay. I just realized it said he had to succeed on a wisdom saving throw, and he did not. What's your spell saving DC?
13.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he got a 9. Yeah, so you stand up, and you're hurt, and you're late, and you're feeling pinned in, and you release this string of insults at this man who has made your day so inconvenient, and the electrum in your hand glows, and he takes 4 psychic damage. It hits him, but he seems to have a glowing film over his skin, and it sort of cracks a little bit.
That's got a shit.
Are you going to do anything else with your turn?
I'm going to roll sideways out of the rubble.
There are boxes and stuff sort of nearby that you could hide behind if you wanted some cover.
Yeah, I want to duck into cover.
I will just throw this out there once. You just did something really cool, and if you want to use that to give a Bardic Inspiration dice to one of your teammates, you may do so.
Ooh, cool. I would like to do that. So what would it be just cast the same as, like...
Giving a Bardic Inspiration dice is a bonus action, so I believe for a level 1 Bard, a Bardic Inspiration dice is a d6. You can offer a d6 to any of your allies, which they can then use to add to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to turn... As I'm rolling away, maybe I'll turn to... Who's got a ranged weapon? I know Frankie's got a ranged weapon. Stick it to him! And kind of give you like a thumbs up. So we roll away.
Okay. So how far away is he from standing from us? Like in front of us?
He's about 40 feet from you.
Okay.
He's still over by the portal.
Okay.
I'm gonna do me old dagger.
So you're going to summon your dagger?
There's not a whole lot of special... Because sneak attack, you said, costs Electrum, right?
It would, yes. And you also need to be hiding in order to... You need to have advantage on him to get a sneak attack. So either flanking him, he's engaged with somebody else, or you can hide this turn and get a sneak attack next turn.
Okay, that's all good. I'll just throw my dagger at him.
Okay, so roll me an attack roll.
15.
Yep, meets beats. That hits.
Sweet, and damage is 6.
Wow, very nice. The glowing film that surrounds him shatters as the dagger hits him and sort of embeds itself like in that little squishy bit underneath of his arm.
Sweet. During my turn also, am I going to be allowed to withdraw my dagger, like unsummon it, I guess?
I think it would probably take a bonus action to dismiss it and resummon it.
Okay.
You can get it back next turn.
Sweet. Yeah.
Do you want to run away from where you are? You still got full movement.
I want to jump behind boxes
Cool.
and hide myself, essentially.
You move about 15 feet over to where some crates are stacked, and you sort of jump in between a couple of crates and hide.
Perfect.
Okay, next up is Frankie.
Okay, so Frankie's gonna be like, I think I know what to do here. So he's gonna pick up some rubble, like, I don't know, a brick or something.
Yep.
And he's going to rummage in his bag. So what he's essentially going to do is cast Firebolt, but he's going to make the stuff rather than create it out of his hands, because I feel like that's more artificery.
Yep.
If he's making the stuff. So he's going to literally make a Firebolt, and he's going to chuck it at the guy.
Okay, nice. So you pick up a piece of rubble. How do you make use of the Electrum in this moment?
I'm saying because he'd be holding it with the rubble and the other sort of stuff he's going to use. So he's just going to smash it with everything and use it to sort of mix up the concoction to make Firebolt and hope that works.
Okay, so make a ranged spell attack, please.
That is a 17.
Okay, that hits him. Very nice. He takes 1d10 fire damage.
Okay.
Woohoo.
And that is 10 10 on the dice.
Nice. Did you roll max damage?
Yes, I did. I'm like, oh, it's a 0. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
So after being hit twice in quick succession, Vito flinches and smiles, and he's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And then he grasps the piece of Electrum that he's holding, and he holds out his palm, and he does another Eldritch Blast back at Frankie, who just
Oh god.
basically made a firebolt out of rubble, which he found to be quite annoying. So a beam of crackling energy streaks towards him. You're gonna make a ranged spell attack. What is your AC?
14.
It hits.
Oh, yikes.
So it's gonna do 1d10 force damage.
Oh my life.
You take 3 damage. 3 force
Oh,
damage.
thank God. Frankie is nearly dead, by the way. So, it's cool. It's cool.
And then he's going to run around behind the portal that he's standing in front of, and he's gonna hide behind the portal. If you guys want to surrender, maybe you can work for me. And
That
Karen's
sounds
up.
like a pretty good idea.
Karen is offended. She gasps as she gets to her feet and grabs a piece of brick. As she storms towards the portal, she is yelling at this man. She says, "How dare you? How dare you try to poach us out from underneath our boss? How dare you steal our inventory and try to bomb our city? I will be filing a complaint!" And as my action, I would like to throw a brick at... Well, I guess I can't throw it at him anymore because he's hiding. I would like to throw it at the portal.
Are you raging here, or are you?
I'm not raging yet, no.
Okay.
I thought that the getting up plus the full movement, which is 25 feet, plus the action of throwing, that is the bonus action movement action.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Roll me. So you're throwing it at the portal.
yes.
Trying
Trying to knock it or destabilize it or...
as the brick comes in contact with the portal, it just disintegrates, and an arc of blood red lightning kind of arcs towards you. It doesn't hit you, but it does feel like it did make a bit of a retaliation at you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you'd
And-
like to do with your turn?
No, I think that's it. How far away is he now?
He was 40 feet. He ducked behind the portal, so now he's probably another 10 feet back from where he was. You ran
Okay.
25 feet forwards, so he
Yes.
is about 25 feet from where you are now, but you will have to go around the portal to reach him.
Cool. If you will allow me one more thing to do, I will also summon my great axe.
That's fine.
All right, and that's it. That's Karen's turn.
Okay, back up to Flynn.
How close is Frankie to me, to where I rolled?
You are probably 10, 15 feet from where Frankie is.
Seeing as I damaged him before with my horrendous words, I'm gonna try that again, because I don't know yet what I can do. So Flynnvar kind of reaches into his bag of holding at his fanny pack.
Cantrip
Oh, yeah, that's
doesn't
right.
consume Electrum, so if you still have it in your hand, you should be able to do it again.
Oh, yes, I do. So is it just spells that would use a full Electrum at this point?
Level 1 spell would use an Electrum. Cantrips will require you to be holding an Electrum or wielding an Electrum, but it doesn't consume it.
Perfect. Okay, so seeing that I've still got it in my hand, I'm going to be like, sweet, let's give this another go. So I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery and heckle him hiding behind the portal.
What do you say? I'm going to make you come up with insults.
Okay, I'm going to write a list then.
The curse of a bard. The curse of a bard.
I had to once play a pipe, an actual flute for my bard, so this isn't too bad. So I call out to him and I say, you're hiding like a lily-livered coward, and you smell like one too. Are you
Okay.
blue for sewage water?
Remind me again of your spell save.
13.
Oh, that time he succeeds. The force of your words appears to dissipate once it reaches the portal that he's sort of sitting himself behind. Are you going to do anything else with your turn?
I'm gonna move over to where Frankie is, so next time I can try and help him out a bit.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, next up is Ido.
So how far am I from... I'm not going to be able to sneak up on him.
You don't currently have line of sight on him unless you want to go further around. You'll have to, dart to another set of boxes.
Sweet, well, I guess I'll sneak closer, essentially.
So there's another set of boxes kind of further up. You can also use your turn to dismiss and resummon your dagger, so you have it next time if you want.
There is that. I could move and also do that, could I?
Yeah, and so that's your bonus action, and then you can use your action to hide. So that would be your turn. You're within range for next turn, but at the moment you've just decided to hide.
Sweet. And I've
Okay.
got my dagger back.
Yeah, you do have your dagger back.
Sweet.
Frankie, it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
Okay, so Frankie is gonna just like hobble up and be like, "Oh, whoa, hey, it's me, Frankie." She's trying to imitate what's his name sort of accent, and trying to be mob-like. Yeah. Hey, I'm Rodney's cousin. We met at Nana's Easter harvest. We had the meatballs. I just came from the factory to tell you that those chemicals are the wrong deal. They're no good. They won't get the job done.
Okay, roll me a deception check, and I'll roll against his insight.
Can I also, when I roll, can I roll with the Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah, so roll your d20 and then add your d6 to it if you want to.
Okay.
But roll your d20 first and then find out what
Okay. I thought you had to roll them.
No,
together,
you can add it after you've seen what the result is.
Okay, I will roll that. So the roll on the dice was a 12,
Okay.
and I decided to use my Bardic Inspiration, which is a 6. And am I rolling Deception?
Yeah, you are rolling deception.
That is 19.
Wow, okay. So from behind the portal, Vito's like, Frankie, I don't remember you, but I guess, you sound legit. The thing is, though, is that you did just try to kill me with some kind of invention. So back off, and after I've dealt with the rest of these guys, I'll see about getting you on the payroll. How's that sound?
Oh, yeah. Oh, forget about it. I was just trying to get your attention, Don't worry about it.
My attention. It's Vito's turn now. He peeks out from the side of the portal, sees where Karen is, and then he turns into mist, and he reforms close to where Karen is, and he's now holding a glowing purple sword, and he's going to attack Karen with the sword. So, gonna roll an attack roll. I got a dirty 20.
Oh man, my AC's only 13.
Okay, he's attacking one-handed, so that's a D8 damage plus his strength. Ooh, so that's 7 damage.
Uffa duffa. That's a big hit. All right. Fortunately, it's Karen's turn next. So she staggers, but stays on her feet as the blade cuts through her. She feels pain, but also a lot of anger, and her anger rushes into the Electrum coin that she's been holding, and it bursts in a flash of blue energy. And I would like to activate Rage, please.
Nice. Describe Karen's rage form to the party. What changes?
So her hair gets more angular. No, I'm joking. I would say that because her weapon is blue and the Electrum is blue, bolts of blue start crawling underneath her skin. They look like veins almost reaching up from her weapon all the way up through her arms. You can see them crawling up her neck and down the back of her shirt. She would like to give him a great big smack, please.
Absolutely. You're gonna hit him in the head with your axe.
Gonna hit him in the head with the axe.
Okay. By the way, did you update your AC for unarmored defense?
Yeah, it's 10 plus Dex and Con, which is 13.
Okay, cool. Just
My
checking.
Dex is pretty low. So that is I'm going to be rolling plus 7 and then another plus 7 for the damage roll. It's a 10.
Unfortunately, his AC is 15.
Bugger.
You swing and you would have been on the mark, but he blocks you using his sword, using 2 hands. And he smiles at you and he's like, I don't know which lord is your boss, but you guys should definitely consider joining me. You would make absolutely spectacular subordinates.
Karen would like to say, I doubt you can offer anything that I would want. As he
Next up is Flynn.
So I can't decide whether to attack or not, but I'm gonna, because he naturally sees Frankie lying there, being there hurt a little bit. Flimvar puts his hand out towards him and is like commiserating, like, oh my gosh, like you can't be that hurt, that's not great. And cast Cure Wounds on me, buddy.
Okay, so
Nice.
that's a level 1 spell, so that consumes the electrum that
Yes.
you're holding, and the
Cool.
blue energy casts down your arm, across your heart, and then through your other arm, and once it touches Frankie, it heals him. So go ahead and roll. I think Cure Wounds is a D8 plus, for you it'll be D8
Spellcasting
plus
modifier.
cha.
But
Cha.
Cha-cha real smooth.
Cool. Woohoo! 5 plus 3, 8.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
Frankie is
Thank you.
healed for 8 HP. And you have just healed the wounded Flynn.
And I'm pretty shocked about that.
You just successfully channeled a piece of, like a coin, through your body and used it to help another human being to heal their wounds.
nice.
So he's kind of like on his knees, looking a little bit Jesus hands about it, like, what?
Okay, is that your turn? Are you gonna move?
Yeah, I'm gonna move back to my box, my original box.
Okay, so Vito and Karen are currently locked in combat. Once you're behind the box, it's probably 30 feet from where you are, 25 feet from where Frankie is. Next up is Ido. What are you up to, Ido?
So I can do sneak attack, right? 'Cause
You can.
busy dealing with
He's
Karen.
currently dealing with Karen, and also you did hide, so you would actually have advantage anyway.
Sweet. All right. Well, I'm gonna throw the dagger and use sneak attack.
You see your target. You reach back. Are you holding an electrum?
Oh no, I have it in my pocket though.
So when you
So I'm
pull
just gonna-
back, you notice like a blue mist go from your pocket into your hand. Roll me an attack roll with advantage.
Oh fuck off.
You have advantage, so you can roll twice.
I know. I
Oh
got
no.
10.
Oh no.
Sorry, but you miss. The dagger goes wide. It doesn't miss by too much, but with him and Karen kind of like moving and pushing against each other with their swords, it just kind of goes a little bit off track a little bit. Are you going to use your movement?
So basically, he still doesn't really know that I'm there, right? Because he's so caught up in his.
Yeah, at the moment he's pretty engaged with Karen.
Okay, well I'm gonna stay where I am, but I will, if I can, use a bonus move to dismiss my dagger.
Are you going to also summon it?
If I can.
Yeah, it would be a free action to do one, so it wouldn't cost you any of your actions to do one, but if you're going to do both in the same turn, that will be a bonus action.
Okay, sweet
Okay.
as. But I
Oh.
still used up an electrum then, didn't I?
You
Even
did,
though-
yeah, cost you an electrum to do a sneak attack.
Oh well.
Okay,
Like I had two.
next up is Frankie.
So Frankie's little thing probably didn't work. So from where Frankie is, how far away is the chemicals? Is it still on the other it was on the other side of the
If you ran to the chemicals from where you are right now, it would probably be your full movement. They are sort of on the other side of the crates that Ida was hiding behind. They're sort of right there. So if you use your full movement to run past Karen, you would pretty much be right there at the barrels.
Okay, the Frankie's gonna do that.
So you're going to run over to the barrels.
And then he is going to cast another firebolt.
Roll me a ranged attack spell.
That's only a 4 on the dice, so I don't believe it's going to hit.
Yeah, no, unfortunately it does miss. It actually goes in between Karen and Vito's faces, so it goes in between where they are, and he's like, oh shit. And he sees you over by the barrels.
And then, yeah, Frankie's gonna stay there and pretend that he's examining the barrels.
Is he examining them, or is he pretending to examine them?
He's pretending to examine them.
Okay, so it is now Vito's turn. He's going to grip his sword with two hands, and he is going to go for another attack on Karen.
Okay.
He misses. You manage to block it with the handle of your axe. There's like a cool, like face-to-face weapon fight happening here with like, swing, block, swing, block. Oh, we're gonna get each other. It's not just misses that you guys are actively stopping each other from hitting you. Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then it is Karen's turn.
All right, I'm just gonna try and whack him one again. Do a good job this time. Whispering to my dice.
Oh, if you want to maintain rage, you have to spend another electrum.
Oh, do I? Oh, do I have to? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that it would be for 1 minute like normal rage.
Because like that's pretty much your only mechanic, and I don't want you to feel like you don't have to use Electrum to like use a magical form essentially. It's really the only thing that you would be spending Electrum on.
Yes.
So yeah, I think my idea was that you would have to spend one to activate it, and then spend one to maintain it each turn.
Okay. Karen's rage is still up, so her other Electrum that was in her pocket fades away, and her blue veins glow a little bit brighter as she swings to attack. That's an 18.
Nice. Okay. So you, after just blocking his attack, you kind of like push him back, and then you bring your axe back and you swing it around, aiming for his ribs as he's knocked off balance, and it connects, and you manage to hit him in the side, right in the ribs there. Roll me your damage.
Alright, that's the 1d12 plus 5, and then a plus 2 for
Rage
rage.
bonus.
So that's a 5 plus a 5, a 10 plus a 2 is 12 points of damage, please.
Ooh, you sink that
Nice.
axe right into his ribs, and it hurts. He actually screams a bit, and he stumbles back, and he's bleeding a lot. Water Genasi still bleed red, but it's all going all down his suit, and he is pissed.
Karen is also pissed off. She says, I'm way too good of a manager to be hired by someone like you, as he stumbles backwards.
He kind of grins, but you can see that his cockiness is starting to fade. He's definitely real hurt, and he's not enjoying himself at all. He kind of stumbles back, and he's pretty close to the portal at this point. He's probably just like 6 or 7 feet away from where the portal is. Next up is Flynn.
Cool. So I'm going to pop up from behind my barrels and give another lashing of vicious mockery for him. So I'm gonna have to put my hand into my bag of holding to get my another Electrum, since I realized that I used that other one on that full spell.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of getting a gauge of like what things cost and what I need to do to make it work. So I put my hand in my fanny pack, and the other one kind of toss my hand at him and like kind of theatre yell at him. Yeah, what Karen said, you flying puff of fecal matter.
Wisdom save.
What she said.
He rolled a nat 20.
Bugger.
He's too sort of distracted by pain right now to be listening to you.
Does he pull out a reverse Uno card and
He actually is fecal matter, so it's not an insult to him.
it's not an insult.
You're just saying a fact. Okay, Ido, what do you got, bud?
I'm gonna be doing just the same thing, but hopefully I actually hit him this time. Because if it does, come on.
You are probably 15 feet from him, so you're currently hidden. If you want to roll a stealth check, I'll let you just make it you don't have to throw it if you want to run up and actually hit him.
Oh, okay.
It's up to you. Like, I guess it'd probably be
Yeah, I'll
easier
do
to
that.
do the ranged attack because there's one less roll in there. It just depends on what you think is going to be awesome.
I think I'm close enough now, and he's seeing that he's down, so he is gonna go up and just get him with the dagger.
Okay, cool. If you can make a stealth roll of 12 or more, I will give you sneak attack damage on the attack.
Oh, sick. Yes, that's 16.
Nice. Okay. So while all this is happening, Flynn's yelling, Karen's hitting him in the ribs. You're slowly sneaking up, and you reclaim your dagger, and you're gonna do a jumping attack, and you're gonna do an attack with advantage.
Sweet. With sneak attack?
Yeah, sneak attack's a damage thing. So just roll your attack first, and then if you hit, then you can do sneak attack damage.
That is 16.
Nice, here's a hit. Yep, nice. Cool. So roll your, I believe sneak attack is 1d6 to add on top of your d4 for the dagger.
Yeah.
And then plus your dex on top of that as well.
Okay, so that is 11.
Very nice. So you jump through the air. Where are you going to stab him? Are you going to stab him in the front? You're going to stab him in the back? You're going to sort of get him in the neck? What are you going to do?
I kind of want to get him. Wait, so is he facing up at the moment?
He's facing towards Karen. The portal is behind him, and you're coming at him from his right.
Okay, I want to get him in the throat if I can.
Just throwing it out there. This is killing somebody. Like, the last guys you fought, you didn't kill them, you wounded them and left them. Are you, in the heat of the moment, are you worried about murdering somebody?
I'll be honest, no.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
I feel a bit bad that Karen's gonna say it, but I'm also like, screw this guy. He just tried to kill all of us.
It's fine, you've made your decision, stick with it. I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure you were aware of the moral implications.
Basically, I'm gonna, as I'm coming down, I'm like, Karen, don't look! And then
So you managed to just stab straight into the side of his neck, and he's shocked, and he stumbles backwards, and as soon as his skin touches the edge of the portal, he ignites in a blood-red flame. And from the portal, you hear the words, "Fool, didn't last 2 days handling my power. I claim the soul you promised me." And Vito, shrieking with pain, a light in a blood-red flame, tries to run, and he stumbles over towards the barrels containing the chemicals
Yikes.
that Frankie's right next to. What do you guys do?
Frankie, push him away!
has Frankie got the strength?
Can I?
Can Karen like try and grab him and throw him into the portal? Not Frankie, obviously. Don Vito.
What I was gonna say is, can I cast Mage Hand to push him away?
Mage Hand only works on stuff that's 5 pounds or less, I think. You can't use Mage Hand
Okay.
to carry something that is person-sized.
I'm just gonna move him away.
He's a light and magical flame, and he's kind of like stumbling over to where you are.
Can Karen try and grab him as he runs past?
You're too far away, sorry. You're just a little bit too far from where he is.
Frankie's gonna then dive the fuck out of the way.
Okay.
Like, oh, fire plus chemical. Like,
Yeah, that might be the best idea, I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah, alright.
Every-
Alright, we'll yeet ourselves away.
Everybody
Yeah.
make a dex save.
Oh no.
Ugh, not a dick save.
Yes, Texas.
This is a save, not a check. So if you have dexterity saving throws, you can add your proficiency bonus.
Yay!
Frankie got a 10.
Karen got a 12.
Probably got a
I
20.
got a 16.
So Flynn manages to jump behind some rather large boxes. The rest of you only have a second to sort of turn and run, but you don't actually get the time to actually take shelter before Vito touches the first barrel, and then kaboom. Hey, it's Penny again. I hope you're enjoying Arc 1, My Chemical Errand so far. We had a bunch of fun recording it, and I'm really looking forward to where the story is going to go to from here. We don't have any sponsors, so there aren't any ads to put here, but I just wanted to do a little shout out to some of the people whose work has gone into this project. It'll just take a sec, and then we can get back to the questing. First of all, the players, Stephanie, Liz, Nate, and Poppy, you guys have been really fun to DM for, and I love your characters. Thank you so much for the time that you have all put into this. Secondly, thanks to Tabletop Audio for allowing me to use their background music. If any DMs are looking for cool mood-setting sound to add to their games, he puts them up completely free as a community resource. They're really good and super well produced. You can check them out at tabletopaudio.com or on his Patreon, which is also called Tabletop Audio. A big thank you to a guy named Regan McKinnon, who created the theme song for the show, as well as a few other pieces of music I'm going to be using. If you liked the theme song, you can reach him by searching for The Porch Recording Studio on Facebook. And finally, thank you to my partner Liv, who has not only been super supportive throughout all the hours I've spent writing the show and editing and post, and helping me to workshop the story ideas, but is also responsible for all the official art that you'll see across all our social media. She's a really talented artist, and she makes all of her money through commission work, creating all sorts of things from digital art portraits to movie storyboards to original comics. She's an absolute treasure, and I can't possibly sing enough praises in this short moment I'm taking for a shout out. If you like the show art and you want some delightful and affordable art custom made just for you, check out Liv Artisan Design, that's Livartisan Design on Facebook, Twitter, or Patreon. Thank you again for listening to our humble little D&D podcast with a terribly long name. You can find out more about us on our website, which should be in the description. I would say it here, but as of this recording, I haven't actually reserved a domain name yet. And there will be a Patreon established eventually where subscribers will be able to get characters named after themselves, submit ideas for magical items that the players will be able to buy, or just show your support, whatever you want to do. Okay, on with the show. Who rolled the lowest?
I think me.
I was a 12.
Frankie, your vision goes white, and you find yourself lying on your back in a wooded area, in like a forest.
Oh, okay. Frankie just, I guess, slowly sits up and's like, what?
When you sit up, a bluebird from a nearby tree flutters down and sits on your toes. Like you're sitting with your legs out and
Yeah.
your feet sticking up. Sits on the end of your toes and looks at you and says, "Hello,
Hey, bird.
this is a nice dream."
This is a dream?
Well, it
Well, at
must
least
be.
I'm not dead. I assume.
I assume it's a dream.
I suppose birds can't talk. Or can they? I don't know.
Today they can.
I'm gonna wake up now.
Okay.
And
The-
Frankie slaps himself.
The bird sings, like there's a little tweedle tweet, and opens one of its wings, and off to the side of you, you can see a cliff that looks over like a forested valley, and sitting on the edge of the cliff, with their legs dangling over the side, is a naked man. His
Oh.
his eyes closed, intently listening to the world around him. The bluebird flies off of your feet and goes and lands on the naked man's shoulder and says, "Goodbye, Frankie. It was nice to meet you." Who rolled the highest?
Oh, I got 20.
Frankie, you hear Idafa saying your name.
Frankie! Frankie!
And with a ringing in your ears, your vision comes back to the real world, where you're sitting half buried in the rubble of a destroyed factory, and Idafa is grabbing you and shaking you and trying to get you to wake up.
Frankie!
Oh, little bird, you're too rough.
Oh,
Can I
dang.
slap Frankie?
Go ahead.
Slap. I'm up. I'm awake. I just had
Good.
the weirdest dream. There was talking birds and a naked man. And...
Okay. We should probably get you out of here.
A couple of feet from where you are, you can see Flynn basically digging an unconscious Karen
Oh,
out of some rubble as well. You can and you can kind of see the portal is gone. Where it was is kind of a crater, as though stuff fell there and then was disintegrated, and then the portal has disappeared. There's like a circular crater. You're all extremely hurt, and you're digging yourselves out of the rubble of a destroyed factory.
Oh,
alright. Karen. Shake.
no, 5 more minutes, darling. Could you bring me in a cup of coffee, please?
I think you're gonna need to mend your bag again.
My bag? And Karen sits up. Oh my! Forget about my bag. What about my head?
That too.
Have we got the chemicals?
I mean, the chemicals were used.
Oh dear. Oh, I just don't know what I'm going to tell Janderson.
Janderson can go screw himself. We're all munted over here.
I'm sure the paper company will help us out with the medical bills, and Karen's going to climb to her feet slowly. I think I'd rather like to go home now.
Everybody freeze! And climbing over the nearby pieces of rubble are 3 Warforged and a chubby human man wearing the colors of the town guard.
Oh, finally! So good to see you. Oh, I've had just the most awful day. It's meant to be my 100th birthday, and I thought that workplace was sending me out of the office on a little trip so they could get everything ready for a surprise party. And I went to another town. There was somebody had stolen our property, and
The chubby human walks up to you and starts to put your hands behind your back as the three Warforged that are with him begin to do the same to Flynn, Frankie, and Idafer. And he says, I don't know what happened here, but you've all been discovered at the site of a huge explosion, and you're all going to need to answer some questions for us.
hey, of course we'll answer questions. You don't need to, ow, you don't need to put my hands behind my back. You're not arresting me. I haven't done anything wrong.
Okay, so you're going to come peacefully?
Yes, but
Me too.
she's gonna come peacefully, but she doesn't want to be handcuffed.
Frankie isn't still quite sure what's going on. He's still imagining the naked man and trying to figure out what that means.
So he stops handcuffing you, and the Warforged stand back from Flynn and Frankie, but the third Warforged continues cuffing Idafer.
Well, don't cuff him, he's my employee.
And
Janitor.
the Warforged who's cuffing him says, this one is coming in. We have reports that match his description, and he was found at the scene of an explosion.
What
You gotta hear,
reports?
bro.
Yeah.
What?
Racial
Reports of what?
profiling.
Reports of what?
Well, you know, Grey-horned boy does things. People report it. This is just how it goes. Look, he's coming with us.
We're not leaving his side. He's an employee of the Janderson Breffords paper company.
Oh, do you have any identification with you?
Absolutely, I do. And she'll pull out her ID card.
So you guys are going to go along and answer the questions?
Yes.
You're not going to resist?
No.
Okay.
No, those are warforged. And I have not a lot of HP left.
That's the popo. Like, hands up, don't shoot.
That's the popo. We are level 1.
So the slum station for this neighborhood is clearly underfunded and understaffed. At this time, only the human and the three Warforged are on duty. Where you guys are currently sitting is in the back area of like a little police station. Idafer is inside a cell with the guard sitting across from him at a table, questioning him. The other three of you are sitting on a single bench off to the side by, you can see Idafer, but you're not close to him. Two of the Warforged are sort of standing near you to make sure that you don't move, and the third one is just kind of walking around doing paperwork. He's sort of over by the entrance where you guys arrived into this room, preparing a incident form. He asks each of you your names, and then he takes them down from the lanyards you're wearing and begins to write them into his incident report. Inside the jail cell, the human guard is quite piggishly eating like a large pastry. He's like an enormous decadent pastry. And he says, so, how'd you end up in that pile of rubble with these nice people, huh?
Idafer, you don't have to answer him. You're under my jurisdiction. I can answer for you if you like.
The Warforged nearest you puts a hand on your shoulder, kind of, not like intimidatingly, but like a, hey, you're not being spoken to right now.
Yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't have to say anything.
Well, unless you want to talk to someone a little higher up, which I guarantee you is going to end in a cell, you need to talk to me. You need to tell me how you ended up in the rubble of an exploded factory, or this is going to get real painful for you really quickly.
Okay, well, we were in a factory and it exploded.
What were you doing in the factory? I've never seen those three around here before. I've seen people who look like you. I don't know if I've ever seen you. Are you from around here? Do you live here?
No,
Where do
I
you
was
live?
taken from work.
Where do you work?
I work at Janderson Breffords.
You work in the West District? Not a lot of people
Yeah.
look like you work in the West District, mate.
Yeah, I know. There was some kind of delivery thing went wrong. We had to come pick it up.
I'm going to need more details. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I believe you.
Karen yells from the other room. I'm the one with the details. I'm the manager. And I'd rather believe I'd like to speak to yours.
I'll be speaking to you very soon, don't you worry. You four have caused some pretty serious property damage and endangered some of the people of this district.
Oh, it wasn't us that caused that damage, darling. Let me tell you that.
Do you know who often is the person who says that they didn't have anything to do with the crime? Yeah, it's usually the person who was found at the scene.
Yeah, who had nothing to do with the crime. You know,
Oh,
as it is.
you'll excuse me if I don't just... And at this point, you hear a ding as someone in the entrance area rang the bell for service. And he
Well, you
says,
should probably go get that.
"Oh, don't worry. One of the bots will go get it. Don't even worry about it. Look, I don't believe you, okay? This is something that is very serious, and I'm going to get some answers out of you if you don't want to end up in a cell in the Emperor's dungeon."
Okay, so what if I was a halfling?
And there's another ding. And he says, "If you were a halfling, you'd probably be sitting out there waiting to get your name written down, because we all know how this works. We all know how you people operate."
I tell him to call my parents.
There's another ding, and the humans...
Darling, I do believe someone out the front is looking for you.
Okay, fine. 74, go find out who it is. And he starts chomping into his big pastry. And the third Warforged, the one who was writing stuff down, gets up. He goes out through the door that you guys entered in from to the entrance area, the reception area of the guard station. And you can hear a little bit of talking coming from the other room. And then suddenly there is an almighty whoosh. And the door into the room, the bottom half of it, just falls back. And you can see like an enormous slit like across the wall that the door was connected to. And the human looks over and he starts to panic. And he commands the remaining Warforged, "Well, find out what that was. Go get him." And emerging through the hole in the door, with a sword held in two hands, is Moshi, the samurai.
Pastries.
Not the most helpful at this time, darling.
The Warforged that were guarding you two both advance on him. He holds his sword in two hands and he says, "Cut down those who would prevent me from achieving my goals. Windblade!" And he does one slice, and a slash of wind cuts both of the Warforged advancing of him completely in half. It also cuts the interior of the building clean in two, including the bars of the cell that Idafer is standing in. And all of the torches that were lighting the room just snuffed out. You can still see a little bit of light coming from the other room as Moshi enters the cell through the hole that he just made and looks at the human guard up and down. The guard cowers and hides behind Idafer, saying like, I don't know what you want, but I work for the Emperor. You gotta get out of here." And so Moshi grabs him by the hair, and he screams like a coward. He's like, "Ah!" and pulls him over, and pulls a bag off of his hip. And it's at that point that you guys notice that he's been wearing the bag of holding that Flynn had. Like he possibly, like during the arrest, he seems to have taken it for himself. It wasn't added to any kind of evidence bag. He just seems to have liked it and stolen it.
Rude.
Moshi opens the bag and reaches inside and feels around for a moment. He withdraws his hand, and then he kind of stops. And he tilts his head as though he's listening to something. And after a moment he says, "No, it's not here. It must have been taken by somebody else. I will return. We may need to work without it."
I'm just staring at Moshi, just like, what?
He's about to turn around and leave, and then he recognizes Idafer, and he turns and he sees the rest of the party. He drops the bag that he's holding to the ground, and he sheaths his sword, and he smiles quite friendly, and he says, "Oh, hello, friends. I can see the world is treating you no better than earlier today. I hope this small difference I have made here will help you on your journey." And then he just ducks back out of the hole in the cell and leaves. He exits the room, taking the guard's enormous pastry with him and just like chomping on it as he leaves.
I pick up the bag of holding again and put it on my waist, kind of looking around like at all the mess. Like
this room has been
wow,
destroyed.
I'm like, maybe we should probably not be here.
Yeah, I start to like shuffle out, but before I leave, I want to make sure that our names aren't here. So I get rid of those identifying papers.
So you're gonna take them with you?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. All right. Good work. I actually had that written down that if you didn't think to remove the evidence of yourselves being here, that might come back to bite you. So good work. You guys quickly gather up your things and you leave.
Hell yeah. I'm
You-
out of there.
You're all still very injured. In RPG terms, you're all basically on like 1 HP.
We're
As
all
you,
beeping. But
yeah,
beep, beep, beep.
yeah, you know that Pokemon noise you get when you're down to red?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
worst
yeah.
noise.
Dun, 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 dun. Outside the police station, people are starting to exit their homes after the noise and after the kerfuffle, and you guys realize that you're all injured, and you have almost no idea even where you are in the city.
Are there taxis
I think we should
around?
duck down an alleyway somewhere. We've got some weird potions that we found, but I didn't want to just test them out. But maybe one of them will make us feel better.
Maybe I should have a look at those.
Are there like taxis or like carts around here we can take us anywhere?
Yeah, there are a few. It's getting close to evening time though. By this time, it's around probably 6, 7 p.m. And
Ugh.
after people are starting to exit their homes and look out of windows and stuff, and you guys really don't want to be seen where
Yeah.
you are right now. You probably don't want to hire a taxi.
Besides feeling like shit, I'm just hungry. So I am gonna suggest that we all go and get some food. Because I imagine we're all starving. None of us have eaten all day.
Yeah.
I think it would be prudent if we all went to my house.
You hear a whistle, and you turn and you look off to the right, and there is a red-skinned man wearing a cowboy hat with horns sticking out of it, and he's standing next to a cart, and he kind of like nods his head over to where you guys are at.
Oh,
Yeah.
Murphy, for God's sake, I'm so glad you're here. Can you get us out of the slums, please, darling? I'm not feeling very well. I'd rather like to go home.
He's very smiley. He's like, "Oh, don't you worry, my friend Karen. I got just the thing." And the cart that he's in has a bunch of hay bales in it, and he like double taps the side of the hay bales, and a little door opens, and you can see the hay bales are actually hollow. And he's like, "Get in."
Yep, get
Sweet,
in,
yep.
get in.
I
We're
get
all
it.
in.
Dives in.
So he closes the door, and he goes, "Yeah." And then the little space that you guys are packed into starts to move, and you can tell that the cart is now traveling through the city a little bit. So you've got a moment to catch your breath if you want.
Flynn, can you hand me one of those potions? I think I will drink it, because I can't feel any worse than I'm feeling right now.
I would like to just like Effie
Yeah.
hand it to her, like interject it first. A quick look just to make sure it's not poison.
Okay,
And
give
then-
me an Arcana check.
Okay.
No, actually, give me a Medicine check or an Arcana check, whatever one you prefer.
I'm gonna go with Arcana.
Okay.
That is 11 plus 6, 17.
Yeah, you're pretty sure this is a potion of healing. It's not something that you normally see in day to day because they tend to be pretty complicated to brew. Like usually within a workspace environment, you go to a first aid kit before you spend 100 gold on a potion. But you're pretty sure that this is something that you can make use of.
Okay. Yeah, seems pretty safe, Karen.
What was my HP down to?
1. Everybody's HP is 1.
Cool. Yeah, I'll drink it.
I'll drink one also.
Okay, so who drinks them?
I'll drink one if that's alright.
I'd give Ida his. He could have the one. I will.
Aw, thanks.
Aw, Frank.
For those of you who choose to drink one, that's 1d10 plus 2 healing.
Okay.
Yes. Healing for 11. My HP is back up to 12. Thank
Yeah, I got 12 too.
the gods.
A lot of really nice rolls when you guys are needing it, eh? Although the misses in that battle against Vito, I was getting a bit tense on my end.
You're like, shit.
Karen's tough. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
about
about it.
Are you guys gonna talk or anything while you're traveling?
Oh, I'm a bit too tired for that.
Yeah, Karen's just got her head in her hands, but she does ask if she can reach into the bag of holding to grab her tote bag back out of it.
So after about 15 minutes of sitting in a little box traveling, you hear that you feel the cart stop, and a few seconds later you see Murphy open the door to the back of the little box that you guys are traveling in, except he's not wearing a hat anymore and his horns are gone. And he says, "Hey, welcome my friends. You guys have done such a fantastic job. Come on out. Let's get you patched up."
What do you mean by welcome? You better not have taken us somewhere weird. I just want to go to my house.
Oh, no, don't worry. This is my place. I just thought you might need a minute to lie down while people are, out there possibly looking for you. Just a little bit of a safe house, and then you can go off and do what it is that you want to do.
Thank you, Murphy. I'm not going to comment on the lack of horns. It's very strange.
Frankie's going to comment on the lack of horns.
Murphy holds up the two hats that you've seen him wearing, and they both have horns sticking out of them.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, hey, listen, so the thing is that what I've been up to, it would be really good if I wasn't identified as being a part of it. I'm actually a fire genasi. But the thing is, people tend to notice guys like me kind of walking around, so I thought, maybe I'll be a tiefling for a little while.
Murphy, forget about it.
Yeah, exactly, forget about it, you know what I mean.
Forget about it.
So he's very jovial, he's like helping you out of the car and like giving you places to sit. And offers you water, and there's a little bit of food sitting at a little table in this little like garage area that he's got. He kind of sits and smiles, and he's like, "So listen, I got a couple of things to apologize for. If you want to hear me out for a minute."
I do believe you have some things to apologize for.
You got a lot of splaining to do.
So the thing is that I used to work for Don Vito. I was one of his guys, But the thing is that I knew he was a fool. As soon as he sold his soul to that thing, I knew he was a moron. The revolving door of crime bosses that fall into that same trap. It escapes me how they think they're the ones who are gonna beat that system. So I feel kind of bad for throwing you guys to your deaths and everything. So I just wanted to explain myself and maybe offer you something to kind of make us even. Now that Vito's out of the picture, Murphy's gonna kind of move on up in the world a little bit. I've got myself a very prominent business plan, and I think that it's gonna be something that will benefit everybody, if you know what I mean.
What, is it a legitimate business plan, Murphy?
Oh yes, I'm gonna be buying and selling very expensive goods.
Is it the buying and selling of magical artifacts, Murphy?
My dude, Karen, you know what is up. And he...
Well, you can't tell us about that, Murphy. I'm willing to go to a lot for you, because you've done a lot for us today, but I can't be involved in this.
Well,
you understand.
He sits down on the squishy chair next to you and he says, Karen, you know some things about me, I know some things about you. We can all rot in a dungeon together, or we can all go back to our happy lives, and you guys can have a new friend who, considering that you're all magical fighters and everything, that, maybe we can help each other out a little bit.
Frankie stands up suddenly. He's like, Karen doesn't talk for all of us. I'd like magical items.
There's my dude.
I'm somewhat of a magic user myself.
So he says, like, look, so the reason that I needed things done in a certain way is because I needed to get some capital going. So I managed to procure some items from my previous employer's estate. And you kind of see behind him, there's a safe that you kind of noticed was in the office before the building got blown up. And it's open, and, it's empty now. He says, well, look, I'm ready to start myself up a profitable little black market trade. Magic items, baby. Murphy's Honest Goods is open for business. If you ever find yourself in need of a tricky gadget or a glowing sword for your mantle or whatever, remember that Murphy owes you a favor.
Well, I suppose...
Thanks, Murphy.
Hey,
I suppose I won't pick you up on that.
I appreciate that, Karen. As much as I would enjoy hanging out with you in a cell in the Emperor's dungeon for the rest of our lives, I think this might be a better business situation for the two of us, if you know what I mean.
I understand.
Hey,
if you're willing to go to those kind of lengths, I suppose I can turn a blind eye this time.
Hey, there you go. So listen, we're pretty close to the central circle. It's probably just gonna be a short walk to get yourselves a nice taxi, maybe something to eat, and then you can all head yourselves home. But before you go, I got this bucket of stuff I won't get much money for. So if you want, as a thank you from me to you, I'll let you guys grab something out of this bucket. How do you feel?
Is it anything that's going to get us arrested?
Oh, surely not. Just make sure you don't get it scanned, and I'm sure you'll be fine. It's no more or less dangerous than those amulets you're carrying around, or that bag. You know, it's gonna be fine. You'll be all right.
All right.
I mean,
Trust
yeah,
me.
Okay.
I'm down.
So I have a list of 12 magical items that I'm about to send you guys through the chat, so you can all have a little read and each pick one thing that you want to use. So just keep in mind that I've written down in the description what the effect is, but pick them based on what they look like. Because I imagine you wouldn't actually have time to examine them. I'll just let you... I'm giving you guys the opportunity to not pick duds.
Oh man, some of these are extremely good. I'm torn between Mouth of Minty, Wand of Tomato Slinging, and Crocs of Sneezing for the one that Liv made.
Liv made the Crocs of Sneezing.
Hey! I knew it was one of those three.
I'm kind of feeling the cape.
The Cape of
Or the-
Chlorophyll?
Yeah.
I was going to use that one too.
I'm feeling the orb of advice.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's roll d20, and then that will determine the order that you guys pick stuff out of the bucket.
Oh,
Okay.
sounds good.
And there's only one of each thing as well.
Sure.
I got a nat 1. Does that mean I can roll again?
No, you're gonna pick last.
I got a 7.
I got 3.
6.
Okay, so 7. So Liz first, then Steph,
Yes!
then Poppy, then Nate. Is that right?
God,
You
We
guys
saved-
all rolled
we
really
saved
low.
our shittiest. We saved all of our shittiest rolls for the last roll.
Okay, Liz, what item are you gonna pick for yourself?
I've just seen Dr. Widdersham's fantastic battle trousers, which I'm going to pick.
So you're taking Dr. Witterson's fantastic battle trousers. Very nice.
Yes.
Make sure you note
Yes.
that down in your inventory.
Sure thing. So that increases my AC up to 14. And because I don't wear armor,
That's really good.
yes.
Steph, what are you picking?
Actually, I think I'll pick the eyes of. Is it minute seeing?
Okay, yeah, so they are a pair of crystal lenses. I imagine that they're like on little goggles that you would keep on your head.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Poppy, what are you going to pick?
I'm thinking the coin of certainty.
Okay, brass coin that always lands on heads.
Yeah,
Cool.
Okay, and Nate, what are you taking?
Yeah, I think I want the cape of...
Chlorophyll.
How do you say it? Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. And make sure that you only get the 1 HP per hour if you've been in either sunlight or bright light for the entire hour, okay?
Okay.
So if you just make notes that like, oh, I'm gonna make sure not to sit in the shade, that will be enough to make sure that you get that kind of healing per hour. Okay, so well, party, your mission is complete. You've got work in the
Yay.
morning in about at this point it's probably about 7 p.m. You've got work in about 14 hours. What now? What are you guys gonna do?
I'm
Well,
gonna go
Karen-
get some food.
Karen's invited everyone to her house for dinner. If you would like to join her,
I'd be
a
down for that.
traditional dwarvish meal.
Oh,
It
I'm
sounds
down for that.
delicious.
Yeah.
Frankie's
Sounds
not
great.
gonna
Thank you,
stay
Karen.
down.
We'll be there in a tick. Might need to freshen up first, though.
Well, that's fine, darling. I've got bathrooms in my house. We can wash down there. Everything is going to be just fine. And she's going to kind of stagger out into the evening and hail a taxi.
So if you care to look behind you, you'll see a very legitimate looking storefront that says Murphy's Honest Goods on it. And you guys are fairly close to the circle, so that the city is a pretty big circle with it like basically an X through it. The South District is the slums, the West District is the business district, the East District is the residential district, and the North District is the royal or the fancy, wealthy district.
Classic.
Yeah, so you guys are pretty close to the center. There's a large park in the center, and so as the four of you hail a taxi, catching your breath, counting yourselves lucky to be alive, you look around at the three people that you've just cheated death with, and you wonder what working at a paper company tomorrow is going to feel like.
Trash.
Hello, it's me, the Lord of Festering Peace, Lord Quisephistus. Thank you for listening to the show. even though I will destroy the main characters if I ever come back, which I definitely probably will. Have yourself a lovely day, and do something nice for a stranger, why don't you? Okay, bye!